our pre-show is getting closer and closer to equaling showtime, which
I don't know what that says.
Should be a good thing. But again, I would have written a shorter letter if I would have had more time. Would have had a better never mind.
I'm writing slow because I know you don't read that fast.
You guys prepared an hour and that's what you came up with? Jeez. What would have happened if you would have had 2? Okay. Levels.
Levels. And the Zencaster just froze again. God. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but you were frozen for a bit there. And not in a very flattering way, can I say?
Seriously, I feel like this is getting worse.
When we talked about this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, Lisa asked why we got rid of Podbean since we've had so many problems with Zencastr.
Well, we used Zencastr for years to record. Podbean just hosted the files.
Yeah, I told her that.
Did that answer her question?
No. It actually led to another one.
Which was?
So you guys got rid of the thing that worked for 6 years to use the thing that doesn't work.
And we knew going into it that it was sketchy. Yes. Yeah. But at least now we're doing less editing, or at least I'm doing less editing.
Oh, I'm doing a ton more editing now.
Dude, you edited like one podcast 17 years ago. How could you possibly be doing more editing now?
Oh.
Do you even have the login for the editing system? Do you even know how any of this? That's not how any of this works.
It's user, isn't it? No. I don't. No, I'm not doing any post editing.
Passcode is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9.
Yours too. That's for the terminals.
It's amazing.
Yeah. No. I'm not doing more post editing. I'm just saying a lot less stupid crap while we record. I call it pre-editing.
It pretty much sums up talking to Todd in one sentence, doesn't it?
You're frozen again.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prenz, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
Here's the thing: when somebody says, "How's this going?" Nobody wants to actually hear the actual answer.
Right? Great. Things are fine. Things are perfect. Super. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Yep, I'm doing great too. Everything's fine. Everything's great.
Excellent. Fantastic answer. Love it.
You ever done one of those with an older relative, and you're like, "Hey," you haven't seen him in a while, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, "Well, my knee's been giving me problems, and then the doctor had to cut this thing on." And you're like, "Oh, no,
I didn't really mean no." Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, though, we're here recording, so that's great.
We were kind of light on feedback, follow-up, and updates this week, I have to say.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody's on summer vacation. Well, we're light on feedback, but have we got some follow-up?
Okay. Well, so the first piece of feedback that we got was from Yvonne. Not hi, not hello, not how you doing. Just June 14, Cubs Giants, top of the 7th, pitch 88 miles an hour. It's catching on.
It's starting to catch on slowly.
Giants pitcher was Logan Webb. That was the follow-up. Going
to use the toddler army for this. That doesn't sound right.
We should also bring the toddlers up to speed. We're now calling this the Yambo pitch.
Yeah. Have you gotten clearance? Have you gotten clearance for that?
We have gotten clearance. I mean, he wants a cut.
Yeah, sure.
Felderman wants a cut since he coined Yambo to begin with.
Okay.
But since golden pitch was coined as a thing somewhere else for a different baseball rule, we needed to come up with something different. So We knew seriously, nobody uses Yambo other than Mark. And so if we call it the Yambo pitch, and when it happens, everybody yells, Yambo, then it can be a thing. It's the Yambo pitch. And Felderman is totally on board.
There's part of me that goes, yeah, this is a cute little bit. And then there's like, there's a non-zero chance if we did a little bit of work on this, we could make that a thing.
This could be a thing. This could absolutely be a thing. And it's catchy. It's very easy to bet on. It's very easy to follow. You don't need special rules. You just need to know pitch 88 miles an hour. Or what did you say? If it's Tim Wakefield, pitch 42 miles an hour.
42 miles an hour, yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the Yambo pitch. There we go. What else did we have for feedback this week? Anything?
No, I think that was it.
Okay.
And I don't think we had any actuallys.
Actually.
You're correct.
Okay, I thought you were going to unactually me my unactually, but okay.
I just like hearing Alexis, so we're good.
You just like playing. Let's see. We do have quite a number of stories to follow up. Hey, in this week in Waymo, here's a fun one.
Oh, if I try to edit, I can't edit. I have to have the soundboard ready before the show because I can't go back in later
and add something
in without going through a whole bunch of work. Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
If this podcast dies in the middle and we have to start over, and then I have to actually go in and edit, there will be a Waymo theme.
Okay.
Toddlers, if there's no Waymo theme, clean show. Sorry.
Do you want to hear something funny? In the middle of your explanation about if we should have a problem, you froze for about 2.5 seconds, but then it came back, and then all the video just caught up real quick. Anyway.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So this week in Waymo has filed its 4th safety recall since February of 2024. There are 3,871 vehicles running Waymo's 5th generation automated driving system. The National Traffic Safety Administration estimates that 100% of the affected units carry the defect. So, at least they're consistent. Here's what's happening. Under certain circumstances, the Waymo may enter and drive at freeway speed through freeway construction zones that have been closed.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, according to the paperwork, this has happened multiple times. Can you imagine if you were in it and you're just like, speeding fines double. Apparently, according to them, they don't have a software fix for this yet. So there's a recall for no fix. I don't know what you're going to bring it in. Anyway, although it does point out, the good news is because Waymo owns every vehicle in its fleet, there's no owners to notify. That's cool. They did say that part of the problem is that sometimes the Waymos see that there's an obstruction on the freeway. So then they go where the obstruction isn't. So for instance, if you go into a construction zone and you know where all the traffic slows down because they've closed a couple of lanes on the freeway, the Waymo sees that there is slowed or stopped traffic and goes, I know how to get around this, and then goes into the construction zone and then just floors it. So I think at this point, I'm not going to tell you to not drive in a way or not ride in a Waymo because, it does sound at times exhilarating. What I am going to say is you have to buckle your seatbelt. Like, seriously, buckle your seatbelt. Anyway, there's that.
So side story here.
Yeah.
On Saturday, Amy and I were riding. I was in the car. Amy is driving. Her mother is in the front seat. I am in the back seat. And we're driving from one place to another out in West Des Moines, on the Waukee side of West Des Moines. Those of you in Des Moines will get that joke. We're on the Waukee side of West Des Moines, and I'm in the back seat on my phone, not paying a whole lot of attention because, let's face it, I don't care. And from the front, I hear, "Hey, are we supposed to be here?" From Joanne, because Amy has seen an open lane to the right and just started barreling down the shoulder. Because eventually there was a turn lane, which she got to. Everything was paved. There was no gravel. It was a paved shoulder with a curb. So it was like there was a free lane, but eventually up there was a turn lane. And I hear, should you be driving here? Is this are you seeing this? Apparently that was directed at me. And I look up, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It doesn't even faze me. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So apparently it's not just Waymos driving where they're not supposed to. It happens to live people too.
I would just say, here's the thing. You're like, oh, don't worry, I can be on the shoulder. Now you got to be watching out for Waymos that are also doing that, right? like it's fine if they're the only ones doing it, or if you're the only ones doing it. But suddenly, anyway,
that's why you don't jump the red light.
Yeah,
or you don't jump the green, because somebody could be flying through on the red, and it could be a Waymo. Same reason. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Side. Anyway. Yes.
Oh, hey, good news. The former shoe company, now AI company, Allbirds, is changing its name to SmartBird. And it has brought in a new chief executive officer. So they got rid of the shoe executive officer and brought in a person who apparently has run some sort of AI company in the past. So anyway, the switch from shoes and to SmartBird is everything's going great over there with the former shoe company.
You know what I'm doing?
What's that?
That's a Dirty Bird. Remember the Dirty Bird?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I mostly remember that as they didn't get to do it in the Super Bowl that they lost to the Broncos. That was that era.
That was, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, fun fact, a travel story I didn't tell you while we were in San Diego. We were multiple times we were walking around and there were lots of seagulls and pelicans and all sorts of stuff. And Lisa, multiple times, Lisa goes, "Hey, look, an airbird." She really enjoyed. That's what most of us just call birds, but it's an airbird. So
sure,
yeah. When we got to the really smelly pelicans, she's like, "Hey, look, more airbirds on the ground." So anyway, there's that.
Also, World Cup news.
Yeah. Oh, World Cup. Yes, we have World Cup. So I think we've talked about how, FIFA has made like people cover up the names of the stadiums.
Yes.
Because and understand when we say get rid of all the stadium branding, it's not just on the outside. They have actually asked inside the stadium, all stadium branding has to go away, including they have asked, and in most places it has happened. You know how every seat now in a stadium, like a football stadium, has a cup holder? And the cup holder either has an ad on it or has the name of the stadium. I believe Gillette Stadium had to put 76,000 stickers over Gillette Stadium.
On the cup holders?
On the cup holders,
and on the seat plates as well.
Yes.
Little pieces of tape. 64,168 little pieces of tape on every seat. On the number plate on the seat that says Gillette Stadium.
If you think that's crazy, though, and by the way, it is, this goes even deeper than you would expect. In the media at Levi Stadium. Sorry, San Francisco Stadium. By the way, Dwayne, San Francisco Stadium. San Francisco, not San Francisco.
Not San Francisco.
40 miles away from San Francisco. Anyway.
Welcome to Santa Clara. There you are.
Yeah. In the press, behind the press box, they have an area where they serve food for members of the media. You've gotten some hot dogs or something while doing football games, haven't you?
Occasionally, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Levi Stadium has a place with a press box. One of the reporters took a picture. There is Heinz ketchup, Heinz dill relish, Hellman's mayo. There is some sriracha sauce, some Tabasco sauce, some French's mustard, and other condiments. But I know what they are. Every single condiment has black tape over the name, just the brand name. So where it says, so the ketchup has black tape over Heinz, and then it says tomato ketchup. And then there's another piece of black tape to cover up the Heinz logo. Same with the relish. French's yellow mustard. French's is covered out, yellow mustard, Tabasco, sriracha, etc. Even the condiments, FIFA said you can't, if they didn't pay to be here, you don't get to advertise them.
But did you see? So they have to cover the signs at the stadiums on the outside of the stadiums. Did you see how Levi's covered the sign at Santa Clara?
They basically used a white sheet in the shape of their logo.
In the shape of so you can still, if you know what the Levi's logo looks like, and everybody does, you can still see the logo.
And if you didn't, I believe the Levi's X account took a picture of it and said, we updated our logo. Also, World Cup follow-up. So apparently, Boston didn't prepare for the Scot army to show up. So people from Scotland showed up in Boston to watch Scotland play. And I would think, I don't know, you've been there. I would think that Boston likes to think of itself as it can do some drinking. Would that be accurate?
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Boston ran out of beer.
Is this a Iowans invade and run people out of Busch Light story?
Pretty much.
Okay.
The parent company of Sam Adams said its Boston tap room ran out of the brand's flagship Boston lager over the weekend because Scotland soccer fans showed up and drank 4 times as much as what the bar normally sells. Now, you're like, well, of course, because they're there. No. When we say 4 times the amount, they drank 4 times the amount that the company normally stocks during a typical 4-day holiday stretch like the 4th of July. So, peak beer drinking, Scotland came in and said, that's cute. Where's the rest? And they went, we're out. And they said, why didn't you prepare? And they said, we prepared 4 times as much as we normally do. And Scotland said, that's a good starter. Where's the next one? So they have had to put in an emergency order to the brewery. You know what? 24 hours a day, 7 days. Just start making the beer. Just push the beer. Anyway, so just be aware. If Scotland shows up, how much ever beer you thought you needed, I don't know, 10x it? Yeah. Yeah. So that was my World Cup once. How about you? What have you got?
This is U.S. Open week at Shinnecock.
Arguably the hardest course of the U.S. Open?
Arguably, yes. Yeah. And the last time the U.S. Open was at Shinnecock, I was there because I was helping with the hospitality suite for work. And so I'm like, oh, well, I remember what prices were the last time I was there. I wonder what the prices are this time when I was there. this time when I wasn't there. So I went and looked, and I saw the concession price list for this week at the U.S. Open. Let's cut to the chase. Prices have gone up. Surprising.
I think that's an accurate statement for almost everything.
Almost everything. The only thing on the board less than there are two things on the board less than $10. The Nathan's hot dog, $7.95, and a bottle of Smart Water for $6.45. Oh wait, three things. Assorted soft drinks, $3.79. They must be the little itty bitty cans at $3.79.
Well, it says assorted soft drinks. Oh, that's where all the RC Cola went.
There it is. Yes.
Okay, I had a story, and I chose not. I'm like, we don't need to cover this, but you brought it up, so this is your fault. So, how much is an American beer at the U.S. Open?
$12.95.
Okay.
Because there are four beers listed.
Okay.
One of them is Coors Light. It's $12.95. The other three beers are Corona non-alcoholic, and Modelo. There are only four beers. Only one of them is an American.
How much are the non-American ones?
Also $12.95. If you want the non-alcoholic one, it's only $11.95.
So I have a story from the World Cup, from the England match, which took place at Jerry World in AT&T Stadium, not AT&T Stadium in Dallas, which is actually in Arlington. None of this makes any sense. Here's how the concessions were listed. American beer. Don't know what that means. Welcome to the World Cup. It's American beer. $15.95. Craft/import beer, $16.95. It's probably the tariff. Yeah. So apparently, if you want a good deal on your concessions, get yourself to Shinnecock and don't get yourself to Arlington.
Arlington.
Yeah.
Sweet Lord. Chicago, Hammond, Indiana. Do we have...
Yeah, you're going to make it all 220?
Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Well, you sound like a pretty handy guy.
We have construction updates?
Yeah, how's the trim? That doesn't sound great.
It sounds dirty, but it's not. Clint was here today, installed all the trim work. Bathroom is done. How about that? Todd, were you able to hear that bell?
I was able to hear that. I was even going to say, and I got to hear the bell, which is also awesome.
So there was a race. Are you finished with all of your projects?
So, funny story. No.
Oh.
Funny story.
Yes.
They did some work on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And all they had to do was come back and put in towel rack, some hooks, the door stops, and patch two small holes in our drywall that may have occurred during the event.
Okay.
Monday, didn't show up. Tuesday, didn't show up. It's weird. They've been here every day. Wednesday, didn't show up. Today, showed up. Got home from work. All the projects are done.
So you do not know at what time they finished work? Because I know Clint left my house at 11:30 Central Time.
I know that they weren't in our house before 11:30 Central Time. So technically speaking, if we get to the hour, you won.
Woohoo! This is a race that nobody won. Seriously, no, there are no winners. There are no winners here. What do we say? They can't all be winners, and they aren't.
So just so for everybody who's keeping track at home, Dwayne's bathroom was done faster, although you started before I did, but we weren't racing on total time. We were racing on completion.
Yes.
So Dwayne's shower beat family
8
room,
projects,
laundry room, living room, master bedroom, guest bathroom, master bathroom, stuccoing the outside of the house. So congratulations, you won.
mudroom. You forgot mudroom again.
No, laundry room. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, congratulations on winning. We have some nice stuff now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Any updates from Todd's Tech Corner as presented by the Taylor Center for Technology Policy?
Just people now after WWDC last week, there are people who have gotten their hands on the first betas. And the big part that they were talking about is Siri is fixed. Siri AI is going to fix this. Here's what people who are using the beta are saying. Holy crap, I think they fixed it. Not 100%, but actual holy crap. Not only did all the problems that used to have, things like, this is what they promised 2 years ago, and apparently they're starting to deliver. You could just ask your phone. I could ask my phone if I was enrolled in the beta, and I'm not yet. I could basically say, hey, what time am I recording Talking to Todd tonight? Without it being a calendar event, it would just look through my messages and everything and know, oh, you record with Dwayne. You guys texted 3 days ago and you said this night, oh, you guys are going to record at 7:30 tonight. You don't have to tell it a specific thing or a specific way. It goes and figures it out. So this could be interesting.
Wow.
People who don't like Siri are basically saying, you know what? This might be the thing I need to use from now on. So anyway, it's early in the process, but in theory, this is the worst it should ever be because it's the first beta. But anyway, we'll see. Also, this is probably the first time I'm like, I guess when the public beta gets released in July, I might be having to put my phone on this. Your regular phone? Yes. What are you, nuts? Anyway, we'll find out. So there's the update. Things are looking good.
Nice. Let's do one of these.
And I'm here, Yes Queen, to remind Todd of the mess Todd made when he answered wrong. Todd oughta know.
That's right. That sound means it's time for Todd Oughta Know. Something that Todd ought to know this week. We're going to find out whether or not he does. Todd?
I won't. Okay.
This is kind of a Dwayne. This is a Todd guess a number, actually, as opposed to Todd oughta know. So we're going to
980 million.
That's a good guess.
Thank you.
Todd, in China, each year, how many cigarettes are sold?
980 million.
I knew that was coming. Is that your real guess, or do you want to actually guess?
I'm going to, I need a new guess. Hold on.
Okay.
So you carry the 6 and then divide by 3. And then so the population of the Dominican Republic is 73. And then Otani's ERA is 4.32. And then let's see. And then, of course, Hamilton's number is 44. That's important in this calculation. Okay.
Seagulls in San Diego. Yes.
Yeah. Breathing through your mouth won't help. Okay, that's
carry the 5.
$500 billion.
And you are low.
Okay. $1 trillion.
You're still low.
980 trillion.
Okay, now you're high.
Oh, shot over. Okay.
Each year, 2.4 trillion cigarettes sold in China each year, which is nearly half the global total.
It would almost have to be now, wouldn't it?
Right?
I mean, wow. Okay.
So according to this article, while cigarette sales are falling in most countries, in China, the numbers are going up. Smoking rose 39% from 2003 to 2023, even as it fell 26% in the rest of the world. These are lines that are going in opposite directions. Todd, question number 2.
Okay.
If you want a pack of Marlboro Reds in your local convenience store,
okay,
here in the United States,
yeah,
with taxes and everything, do you know what that cost runs you?
I'll say $9.50.
It's a little more than that. According to this article, it averages about $20. In China, you want to guess what that pack costs you?
35 cents.
About $3.
Okay.
But in terms of your percentages, 35 cents to $9, $3 to $20. You were correct there. You know what? Close enough to give you a bell there. Why not? Why not? By the way,
he doesn't know the number, guys, but he does know ratios.
There it is. The government's brand, the China National Tobacco Corporation, it is a single agency that both regulates the cigarette industry and makes the smokes. Last question, Todd.
I'm just thinking, like, hey, do these things have too many carcinogens in? I don't know. Let me go ask the people that approve it. It's fine. They said it's fine. It's the same person. Yeah, I know, but technically he put a hat on for one of those. Okay.
How much money did they make in 2025 in profit and tax revenue? In profit, not gross sales, profit.
980 million yuan.
$244 billion in profit and tax revenue.
That's a lot. That's more than Apple.
It's about 7% of national government revenue and nearly what China says it spends on defense.
Support our Navy. Smoke them if you got them.
Smoke if you got them. Take 5, boys. Yes.
See, I always thought that the pollution in China was due to all the coal-fired power plants. I'm just pretty sure now it's just due to the cigarettes.
I think maybe you have struck on the answer.
Wow.
There you go. Just something this week that I thought Todd ought to know. And he knew, at least he knew ratios. Should we do some idiots? What'd you bring this week for Scott Frost Memorial Idiot of the Week?
Yeah, so I normally look at the news. This one's a little closer to home. So last week, Lisa's family, some of Lisa's family from England flew over, and Gail and Keith spent a week in the U.S. They stayed with us at the undisclosed location, and they on Thursday, I was going to, I took work off on Friday to go hang out with them. On Thursday, they decided to go to Zion National Park, because they said, what should we do in the general vicinity? And we're like, you got to go to Zion. I mean, it's world famous. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll go over. And I kind of said, hey, this is where you want to go. This is what you want to do. And they got there and they came back, and they didn't, they made it to the fee entry station and then found out the price of admission, and then turned around and didn't go there. The following day, when I was there, we ended up going. Dwayne, this is obviously not Dwayne Guess the Number week, but do you want to take a guess as to how much they were going to be charged to go into Zion National Park?
$49 a car?
Okay, so the actual retail number that they were going to be charged to visit Zion National Park for a day was $235.
Wait, what?
Yes. Now, here's how that's calculated. To take one car into Zion is $35. That actually gets you into the park for 7 consecutive days, I believe. So that's
Okay.
what you would pay, $35.
Okay.
That's what I would pay if we didn't have a pass, $35. However, in addition to that, there is a surcharge for anyone who is not a citizen or resident of the United States. So they were asked, are you a citizen or resident of the United States? They, in their English accent, said no. $100 per person to enter our national parks. Because America first, because they haven't paid for these parks. So, yep. So the person at the gate was nice when they said, yeah, I don't think so. And the person's like, so what you need to do is just pull through and then you're going to just flip a U-turn and you can head out right over there, which they did. The following day, because we have a pass, we put them in our car, drove in, here's our pass. I will now show you Zion. But the idiots, I will say, it's not the National Park Service. They're just doing what they're told. The current administration has added $100 per person fee to enter our national parks. And also pay the other fee to get in.
But when we went to Mount Rainier, the gates weren't staffed.
Okay.
We didn't even pay the $39 to drive through the gates. We just kept right on driving. Up we go because nobody's staffing the gates. Okay. Yes, it's free. Welcome to Mount Rainier National Park. That was really nice. Also, apparently, if you ride in the back of Todd's car and keep your damn trap shut, that's the other way around it.
Anybody who doesn't sound like me, be quiet for at least the next 2 minutes.
Y'all Americans back there? Yup.
Coors Light. Must be. Okay. How about you? What'd you bring?
So here's also kind of a local story. This was a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you saw this or not. An Iowa man is taking Nintendo to federal court for allegedly refusing to grant him Pokemon professor status.
Sorry, what? I was tracking right until the end. I thought I heard you say that he's upset that he wasn't granted Pokemon professor status. Now that is clearly, did Zencaster glitch right there? Because that doesn't sound like a thing.
No, that's exactly what I said. Kyle Owens, 34 of Lawrence, is suing Nintendo of America, alleging federal antitrust actions that violate the Sherman Act. The lawsuit seeks a court order and injunction that would grant Owens $341,000 in damages and award him Pokemon professor certification and restore his access to official Pokemon professor tools and enable him to host Pokemon events. I don't need to tell the toddlers about Pokemon and cards and programs for collectors and gamers and I don't know. Anyway, but apparently it's fairly lucrative. But his lawsuit alleges that back in 2024, the Pokemon Company informed him that he had passed the basic exam for the rank of Professor of Pokemon with a score of 100%. And then he would need to submit, he passed the first steps, and then he would need to submit a background check. Unfortunately, the background check determined that there was a pending arrest warrant in another state in 2022 for failing to appear in court on misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct, engaging in fighting, repairing or selling an offensive weapon, and criminal mischief through damage to property. At which point, Pokemon said, no, you won't either be around or affiliated with us. So we are denying your application to the professor program.
So he didn't get tenure.
So that's exactly what I'm saying, is he didn't get tenure.
Yeah.
In his lawsuit, he says it's an old, low-level felony that was more than 10 years old. 2022 to 2026. Not only is he bad at math,
Obviously not a professor of math.
clearly not, and it was later changed to 3 misdemeanor charges that do not show guilty findings. So
No contest.
no, I guess he pleaded no contest and paid a fine. I don't know. Anyway, the defendants have yet to file a response to the lawsuit, but now that we've covered it on this show, I'm sure you'll be getting monthly Pokemon updates. You're welcome, toddlers.
I love the fact that he's filed an antitrust lawsuit against Pokemon about Nintendo, because apparently he wants other organizations to be able to endow professorships.
It does not merely harm Owens personally, but it also reduces competition and consumer access by eliminating a qualified Iowa-based event host from the official organized play system associated with the game.
Other way to write that headline: dude with pending felonies upset can't hang out with a bunch of kids. That's it's
How many felonies? 34 felonies? Oh, sorry. Wait. Never mind. Moving
Wow.
on.
I'm just like, wow, okay. I don't yeah. Sue to get his professorship. That's wow. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be completely honest. This is the point where I'm desperately trying to come up with something witty to say. And this is so blatantly stupid. It is short-circuiting my brain. And I can't even it's just sad. It's just
Why do you think it's in Scott Frost Memorial Idiot of the Week territory?
Wow. And he's in Lorenz.
Yeah, with Ralph of Lorenz.
Okay. Yeah, because here's the thing. Do you know what's stopping people from enjoying Pokemon parties in Lorenz? It's not that he's not a professor. It's that there's nobody in Lorenz. Huh. Okay.
You watch anything good this week?
I've been watching World Cup. Just lots of World Cup. Not any of the World Cup studio shows, however. Hey, coming up next, Alexi Lawless. No, thank you.
No. Click.
Yep. Nope. Just a couple of observations so far. A lot of the matches have been exciting. There's been exciting 1-1 matches. Those have been cool. The broadcast is coming straight from FIFA. FIFA controls the entire broadcast of what gets seen from the field. So sometimes I will say this, if there's some like controversial no calls or calls, you may get one view of it or you may not get any views of it. It's interesting what they're just choosing to show and not show. And most of the matches, I find this interesting. The referees are being very lenient on, especially giving out yellow cards, even calling fouls. There's a lot of contact taking place where the referee is just like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Just keep playing. Which is weird. This gets back to a lot of the announcers are like, yeah, you know what? I like this. Just let the players decide the game. The problem, of course, is if there's rules that you can't take two hands and shove a guy in the back down and you don't call it, yet you're letting the players decide the game. You're letting the players who are breaking the rules decide the game, which is, and yeah.
As an official, that's what we say at the end of the game, right?
You decided the game. I just called it.
I just called what I saw clearly.
And I will also say, and this is again from the officiating standpoint, I'll put it this way. Yes, people who maybe not following this, maybe at least saw Lionel Messi scored a hat trick, and he's now the leading scorer of all time in World Cup history. Yeah, interesting. Early in the match, he committed, which is at minimum a yellow card, and should the referee have given him a red card, nobody could have argued against it. It met all the requirements technically for a red card, which would have meant 1, he would have been thrown out of the match, and 2, he would have been suspended for the next game. It wasn't even a yellow. Very clear. The referee basically said, "Oh, that's a foul." And even the American announcers said that when they went back and replayed, the guy says, "Oh, and he got a little bit of a kick in the back of his leg." It was a full foot on his calf. Even the announcers, I was like, "Oh, I see what we're doing." Messi can't do anything wrong. He's very, very good. He's amazing. But the referees are going to give him deference, and so are the announcers. Oh, I see what we're doing here. Okay. This is okay, cool. Let's not break the storyline. So anyway, some very good matches. How about you? What have you been watching?
I don't know if I marked the tape on this or not. I started rewatching The Big Bang Theory. Did I tell you this?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so I finished The Big Bang Theory, and in the process of all of this, I read some reviews of whatever the third thing, Georgie and
Mandy and Georgie's first marriage or something.
First marriage or is apparently getting really good reviews. Like, it's better than either Young Sheldon or The Big Bang Theory. People are really liking this.
Wow.
Apparently. Who knew?
6 people that are still watching CBS.
I guess. I have not watched a single episode of that, but I wasn't going to launch into that without watching Young Sheldon. So now
you need the continuity.
I
need to understand the story.
Exactly. Right. And here's the thing. I watched season 1 of Young Sheldon, never watched any of the rest. So I'm in the middle of season 4 now. And I'm just going to say it's what I'm watching, but it's not what I'm rewatching. It's just what I'm watching.
This is like an MCU thing at this point.
It kind of
I was going to watch this, but I got to watch 17 seasons of these shows before I can even start watching this.
12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory and another 7 seasons of Young Sheldon. Now, luckily, they're only 20 minutes long and less than that when I skip over,
Previously on Young Sheldon. Nope. I don't
exactly. Yeah, I know what happened. I just watched it. Yeah, I didn't take 4 months off in between. I don't need a refresher. Anyway. What did we learn this week?
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
On Monday, I took a day off work and I volunteered and played golf in the Drake Golf William Knapp Memorial Bulldog Club Drake golf outing up in Ankeny.
Boy, if you put that sucker on a hat, that would be really, really long. That was just. There's more. Oh, there's more. There's more. Okay, yeah. Sure. Okay.
And this was on Monday. On Sunday, immediately prior, Zach Johnson won the Principal Charity Classic here in Des Moines. Drake alum, Iowa guy. And we had made arrangements with him to come to the fundraiser golf tournament and make an appearance. And before, knowing that he was going to be in town, knowing that he was going to play in this tournament, and then he won, and then he still showed up on Monday.
Excellent.
And as part of, I was part of the planning committee for this. And so it was one of the things that we did was you could pay extra to come early and have a putting clinic with Zach.
Okay.
And so 30 people paid extra, showed up early. And because I was on the committee, I helped shepherd this thing. And so I got to listen to Zach talk for 45 minutes about theory of putting. So the thing that I learned this week, my 2 takeaways from Zach on how to putt. The first thing he said was, there's 1,000 different ways to putt. And honestly, it doesn't matter. The grip it this way, grip it that way, the claw, the reverse, the hold it against this arm, the hold it against the other arm. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, whatever you land on, make it a routine and make it the same every single time. Because then if it's hot, if you're tired, if you've played 36 holes that day, if whatever it is, it doesn't matter. When you lock into that routine, you've got that routine to fall back on for consistency. So takeaway number one, find a routine, whatever it is, stick to it. The second thing that I learned from Zach was, he's like, okay, so here's the thing. I'm always trying to make every putt, right? But I'm also trying to figure out where I want to miss. That's why you walk all the way around it and figure out, if I'm not going to make it, where am I going to miss? So you also need to think in that perspective as well. Is, okay, so you don't want to blow way the heck by it, or you don't want to leave it high, because then you're going to have a 2-foot downhill breaker. No, we don't want to be doing that, right? So think about, don't just think about how you're going to make it, but think about how you might miss it to try to avoid the 3-putt. That's how you score. Avoid the 3-putt. Anyway, so those are the two things that I learned from Zach Johnson on Monday, which was he did a really, really nice job. It was really great for him to show up. We raised a ton of money for Drake, and it was a whole lot of fun. So
I would say part 2B is think about how you want to miss it, but don't think too hard about how you want to miss it, because otherwise all you're thinking about is missing it. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss. Damn it. I missed it. Thought too long about that, didn't you? Yeah, got in my head.
Yeah, I focused. Yeah, I kind of got in my head on that one.
Yeah.
What'd you learn?
Hey, so I was talking about Keith and Gail were over, and we were comparing, just talking about the UK and the United States, and comparing stuff, and talking about costs between the countries. Here's something I learned. So the United States and the UK both have gallons. If you buy fuel in the UK, you buy it by the liter, but they have the concept of gallons. Here's what I learned. A gallon in the United States is not the same as a gallon in the UK.
What?
Yes. So the United States has a gallon, which is legally defined. This is wild. By the way, Dwayne, what kind of material do you measure in gallons?
Liquid.
A U.S. gallon is legally defined as exactly 231 cubic inches.
Volume.
Yes. So, anyway.
I'd like a gallon of air, please.
So, that equals 3.78 liters. The British imperial gallon, also simply just called a gallon, is defined as exactly 5.54609 liters. It is no longer legal to sell items by the imperial gallon, but it is still used in Britain and some other Commonwealth countries. So we were talking about how much does a gallon of gas cost versus liter, and we were trying to do the conversion. And Keith was like, I don't know, what's a gallon? It's like 4.5 liters or something. And I'm like, no, that can't be, because I'm thinking a gallon of milk, and then I'm thinking 2 2-liter bottles. Right. And I'm like, no, that's got to be less than. And so it was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's like 4.5. And I'm like, okay, all right, you know what? Let's find this out. We're going to see who's the winner. Turns out we're both right, because a gallon is different, which leads me to the second thing I learned. A pint is also different in the United States and the UK.
Have you ever heard the phrase, a pint's a pound the world round?
Yep, it's not. So here's the problem.
Jesus.
A U.S. pint is 16 ounces.
Uh-huh.
A British pint is 20 ounces.
Of course it is, because you got how many of them the same?
You just figured it out.
Yeah.
Because they are both 1/8 of a gallon.
1/8 of a gallon.
So they are defined. So here's the thing. A pint, the definition of pint in both countries is identical, but gallons mean different stuff. So pints are different, even though they're defined the exact same way. I was just like, I don't even know what to do with that. Like, why do we use the same words? We could use different words, which also gets back to the ESPN story about buying beer. The England fans buying beer. England fans are used to buying by the pint. If you buy a pint in the US, you're only getting 16 ounces, not the 20 ounces. It's more money, smaller cup, which again doesn't bother the Scots. They're like, it's less, whatever. Give me 4 more. we'll make it up in volume.
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting math expert Todd Prinz, wherever you get your
the thing, and then move that over, and then pie. Ooh, pie. Pie sounds good. I should see if there's some apple pie. Yeah, that's great. I'll be back.
Search Talkin' in the number 2. There's no G and no space. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and our contributors. We appreciate you. And as always, you can send us your feedback to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
So I think you missed a great opportunity to promote the podcast, because when Zach said, I always try to make it, but you also want to think how you're going to miss it. Your option there was saying, so, hey, quick, Zach, are you saying they can't all be winners?
You're saying failure is always an option?
You know what? That's the slogan. That's the catchphrase of my podcast. You have a podcast?
Why, yes. Yes, I do. In fact, here's a poker chip ball marker.
Got to work you on promotion. Come on.
We really do. We're going to have to clean something up next week. I know. Until then, we'll be back. We're here. We're talking to Todd.
You got to love the source of all truth and knowledge. When I went to Wikipedia to look up the pint, it talks about the U.S. liquid pint and then shows a picture of a U.S. pint can. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Doesn't get any more American than that, right?
Amen.
And then it says Imperial pint. And for that, it shows Imperial cans of Stella Artois, famous British beer. No, guys, you were this close. Hey, how do you say I'd like to have a beer in Belgian? Stella Artois. You got it.